Preparing a live stream for the YouTube meeting. There we go. And we're live. So yeah, I haven't done this in a while, guys. It's nice to have friends I've been talking to for a while, like, about wrestling, about football, all together. It's pretty cool. Like they were doing, I usually do like try to get squeeze in a WrestleMania Roundtable like every year because well, it's the biggest event of the year for professional wrestling. So I also squeeze in a draft show, like usually draft night. So yeah, guys, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
No
Yeah, I
problem, guys.
appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Sure thing, man. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, it's the biggest event of the year, so why the hell not do like a show like this? Like it's like usually I get bigger turnout, but like, hey, it's not the quality. It's not the quantity, it's the quality.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
no,
sure.
absolutely. Big show this year too. And what would have been a bigger show had it not been for some injuries, but still a nice card overall.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe intriguing what they've done if like Punk didn't like tear his tricep in the Royal Rumble and all that.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, that been like must see TV. I mean, like I don't think they do the tag match then.
No, probably not. I mean, I think they go in a whole different direction at that point.
Yeah, it'd have probably been, I would think, Punk versus Rollins, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, Punk Marlins and like just somehow make it like triple threat, like The Rock, Cody, and uh Roman. I couldn't think of Roman's name for some stupid reason.
It is kind
Yeah,
of
he's
odd
only
though,
the
because I'm sorry. Yeah, it is kind of odd because I wonder where McIntyre would be if it wasn't for all the injuries.
I think he'd be facing Gunther again. I mean, I wouldn't be mad. It'd be another Hoss fight, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
To his credit, though, he's doing great work in terms of being a heel right now. So, in a way, it did work out for him, and excited to see that match with Rollins.
Oh yeah, he's definitely taking advantage of the opportunity for sure.
Yeah, without question. I mean, Ryan and I were talking about it, like at his show. Like, was that last week or 2 weeks ago? It's been such a crazy like time for like the last
Last weekend.
month. God, already it's only been 8 days. Holy cow! Um, that I expected a double the elusive double turn, but like have Drew like I mean, let's jump right in the world title match. Have Drew like turn face and have Seth turn heel after like lose like have like Cody lose like have Cody and Seth lose a tag match night one.
Yeah.
And like have Becky like win, maybe even have even Becky win the women's title. And then like Seth loses the title to Drew and he just snaps and turns mega heel.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting in terms of the different routes that they can go with this, and based on the tag team match on night one and what happens on night two to all of them. So, I'm looking forward to actually getting into that when we get to the predictions here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's not gonna be much more added in like the next 2 weeks. I really don't think so. I mean, between like Easter Sunday next week and I mean, they're probably gonna fill out the tag match and about the tag team ladder match, and that's probably about it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we got two matches for night one, we got one match for night, or sorry, one match for night one, two matches for night two. I know they wanted 14 matches, but if it's just gonna be these, 10, I'm not mad if you do 5 matches and make them long, like they can and drag them out a bit.
And
Yeah,
they
for
can
sure.
always throw in an extra match on the night of, and someone cuts a promo, someone shows up, or however it goes.
Yeah,
They've always done stuff like that.
yeah, absolutely. And they're gonna have a 2 hour pre-show at least, so like they're gonna have to probably set something up there too.
Absolutely.
Think
Yeah, I think.
do
Sorry,
you
go
think
ahead.
the women no, I'm sorry. Do you think the women's tag match is gonna take place on Mania?
I don't think. I mean, I don't know how bad Asuka's knee injury is,
Okay.
and I don't know. Like that's the quick question right now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, what they could do is they could, you know, have her in the match at the start, have her get injured early on, something like that. I like the potential of that match. Getting Jade possibly on the card if it's the one that I saw floating around with Jade, Bianca, and Naomi against Damage Control. So I would like that. I think it would make a lot of sense to do that as well.
Yeah, you can explain the knee injury like, right then and there too.
Mhm.
Like have her do some move, like it takes her knee out or something like that, and like and then and she's carried to the back, and there we go.
Speaking of WrestleMania, you guys have any favorite WrestleMania matches or WrestleMania as a whole?
Being 4 years old, there's probably too many. Like Angle Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero.
Mhm.
For like the more modern times, I mean, I still love the Iron Man match from WrestleMania 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, all great matches there. And, not so much that it was a great technical match, but when I was a kid, Hogan versus Warrior was huge. WrestleMania 6, getting that at my aunt's house. She had one of the big satellite TVs back then, or satellite dishes in her backyard. So we
Oh God,
bought
those things.
WrestleMania there. And yeah, so that was huge for me as a young kid. But
Yeah, that
definitely,
was actually that's the first WrestleMania I watched.
yeah, yeah. First one I definitely think watched live too. I mean, after the fact, went back and watched a lot of them. I'm a huge fan of the Steamboat Savage match, but obviously when it happened live, I didn't catch that, but I've watched it in years past, obviously. But there's been some great technical matches. There's been some great tag matches, Edge and Christian, Dudley's, Hardys, and the
Oh yeah.
TLCs, and um, you could go Razor and Shawn Michaels and some of those in that ladder match at WrestleMania 10. Even Bret Owen at 10 was a great match early on in that show.
Greatest opening match in WrestleMania history.
Yeah. So I mean, tons of great ones, and obviously more currently too. There's been some good stuff too. I remember, last year with Steve Austin and Kevin Owens. It
Yeah.
was rumored, reported, and Austin can't do a traditional match anymore. But I thought that Owens was the perfect opponent for him. They had a great brawl. He took some bumps, which I don't think people were necessarily expecting. So I thought he held his own though in that match for being away for so long.
Yeah,
Have you
and
guys
how about
heard
you,
the
man?
rumors of him coming back for this one?
I saw
A little
something
bit.
recently like floated around like he could get involved somehow in that main event. It'd be tough for me to like. I get it because the rivalry with The Rock, you could kind of weave it into it that regard. But part of me still expects The Rock to turn on Roman Reigns. So I'm don't know why you would include Austin in it. So I would like to see him get involved again. I just don't know if this is the year to do it.
Yeah, I tend to agree with Ryan there. It's just like I mean, it'd be cool to see, but I don't know how it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I'm kind of like 50-50. I honestly don't know what direction the championship match is gonna go to. Like there's some days where I think like The Rock is gonna turn. There's some days where I think Seth's gonna turn. Uh I I honestly have no idea right now.
Neither do I. I think it's good for business.
Right. I
I
mean, a
mean,
lot of uncertainty. I would like to think that at the end of the show, Cody will end up being the champion. Maybe there's like a post celebration, and that's when or excuse me, that's when Seth Rollins turns. Maybe building up a feud for those two again, and if you really want to, have Roman Reigns feud with The Rock, then up to SummerSlam, that gives you two different storylines and things to follow. Rollins wanting, revenge on never being able to beat Rhodes thus far. Although I don't know if you wouldn't want to get the title off of Cody that quickly, so I don't think it would be another. I think it'd be another loss for Rollins at the end of the day. So that's the tough part of it as well for me is maybe they have to slow play this turn and this frustration. Maybe it's not at WrestleMania. It's a few months later when Rhodes has had an established run, and maybe then Rollins is a legitimate threat to take the title off of him.
Right. Yeah, because I honestly, I mean, how can Cody lose again? I mean,
I
I would
don't
think there's no
think,
coming back from it this time.
no, I agree with
I
you completely.
and it's nothing. I think Ryan and I joked about. I was like, I'll play this theme from the Never Ending Story if like he loses again.
Right. And I see people on social media saying, well, they want him to get Hogan's record. Well, Hogan's record isn't a record. He's third all time. I don't think in modern wrestling you can have these. I think the reign that they've had now, they've done well with, but you can't
Yeah.
extend it much further than this in
And
terms.
you can't you can't give him Bruno's record because that's another
Right.
4.5 years away.
Right. And it's not like he's working all these shows. It's very sporadic. That's another part of the frustrating part. And I'm not saying you should be working house shows and things like that, but you'd
It's
like
the
your
big fight
champion,
feel.
right? But you
Yeah.
also want your champion a little bit more involved in TV, fighting more regularly on pay per view. Definitely, you don't have to have them wrestle on TV, but show up promos, whatever. It's just been few and far between, and it's worked for them, but I think they need to change it up.
Yeah, it's almost like he's replaced Brock as far as like
Mhm.
the champion that's part time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, without question. I mean, like I said, it just makes the fights bigger. I agree with me. They should be watching like every pay-per-view, or like at least the major ones, like not skipping out like Survivor Series. Didn't even he wasn't even on the card, was he?
I don't think so.
I don't believe so either off the top of my head, but I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, but it's like yeah, it's like just yeah. Yeah, I mean, at least he's not a team wrestler for me. I mean, I don't think he would, but yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm just like, 'cause I'm just like, I said, I'm just looking through the card and it's like gonna be a good show. I think they're gonna add. I think so. I think they're gonna add to some of those cards too, like the Jimmy J Uso match. That can't be just a regular match.
No, I'm expecting like Rikishi or like one of the other brothers to come out. Somebody to come out there. It has to be something added to it.
I think I call it the City of Brotherly Hate Street Fight.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
would be cool.
you could do a
Like
street
call it, you call it then, and literally call it that.
right. Yeah, I mean that keeps though the trend of the brother versus brother matches alive every 10 years.
15 years ago,
Yeah,
15 years. Yeah, it
15.
was 10, 20, 10, 10, 25, 40.
So there
So
you go.
next 20, so WrestleMania 55, we'll have another one.
Yeah, it'll be set for then. But that's an interesting match because I think that I don't think everyone necessarily expects Jey Uso to win, but I feel like the heels have won in both of the brother versus brother matches to date. I think that Jimmy could probably use the win more. It could be woven into the night one, night two storylines if Jimmy wins that match over Jay. Jay taking a loss doesn't hurt him whatsoever. He's positioned solidly toward the top of the card on Raw, and that wouldn't change for a loss to his brother, who I would argue needs it a little bit more than he does.
I tend to agree with that. And yeah, like you said, I'm surprised there's not like a gimmick match with that. The Gunther Sami Zayn, I love the idea, but I still wish it was Chad Gable. He's
Mm-hmm.
deserved it, man. He's been put on like five 4-star and 5-star classics, like even with like Ivar
Right.
on Raw.
Yeah, he's
Right.
always been underrated.
It's
And
those sorry, go ahead, Martin.
no, I'm just saying I still expect Gunther to retain. So maybe you push that to SummerSlam, and that's when he gets his shot. And someone's got to take the title off him. I don't think it's Zayn though.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like the plan B where he fights for he gets the title for like the championship, like a world title shot.
Right.
You could say no one can beat me.
Do we want to get into the card, go through some of the matches, or
I mean, I got it up.
all right, let's go.
Should we start with like the battle for damage control, basically Io Sky versus Bailey?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, this has been played really well. Like, I mean, especially Bailey coming for a knee injury and all that. And yeah, I don't see why Bailey doesn't win this match and win the championship back.
I have Bailey winning this one too. I think it'll be a fun match. I like the story that's being told of, she has somewhat of an ally in Naomi right now. Bianca Belair will eventually come around. We've already mentioned the proposed fight, perhaps with the 6-woman tag match. So she'll have her own allies in this one to kind of fend off damage control when they interfere, and you obviously expect it. But yeah, I mean, I feel like you need at least one title change in the women's titles. I don't, I don't want to get too far ahead. I don't see the other one leading to a title change. So in this one, I have Bailey winning.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bailey winning as well. I mean, she's I would say probably the underdog out of the four horsewomen. So her name hasn't really been put on the same, line of greatness as a Charlotte or Becky Lynch or even before Mercedes Moné. Monet went to AEW. So this would be like her first time to finally submit her legacy as one of the top women in the company and in all of wrestling.
And she's still like it's so weird how she was like portrayed as like this white meat babyface that could never turn heel, and she did. And now she's turning face again, and she's even better than she was when she was a white meat babyface.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think you'll ever see the little streamer things come up anymore, but it'll
You
be
know you
interesting to
want
see
the
how they
wacky waving arm. You know, I was gonna say, you know, you want the wacky waving arm flailing too. Man, I can never say that in one sentence.
it'll be interesting to see how they handle the face turn for her, and because she was very popular obviously in NXT with that crowd when she first came to WWE. Um,
Yeah.
so it's definitely a different character though at this point in terms of the evolution of Bailey.
Yeah, it's not the lovable underdog,
Right.
but either way, I think it's like it's looking good for her, and like she's just gets better.
Yeah. Great worker, safe worker, fun to watch. So should be a really good match though between her and Io Sky.
Yeah, for sure.
And you guys can call the next match, which one you want. We can talk about. I mean, like I said, I've got it all up, so I'm
All
going
right.
in
Well,
no order.
I was gonna say maybe just go right down the order because it's since you have it in front of you.
Yeah, next match is the other women's match, Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. I think this is gonna be the surprise match of the week. But I agree with you. I think what you alluded to with Rhea retaining, but I think it's be a great match. Like give him like 30 minutes.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not ready to see the title off of Rhea Ripley yet. I know she's had a good run here, but have her retain at WrestleMania. Again, if you're looking to get the title off of her, SummerSlam, you could do a triple threat, Becky Lynch versus her, and then throw in whoever you want there. I mean, we probably all have our own preferences of who we would like to see in that match. See, take the title off of her. I would almost prefer it to be like a triple threat though, or fatal four where she doesn't necessarily have to take the pin or the submission, and then that kind of extends her aura, her dominance, and it helps her
Yeah,
in the career.
she could say she never lost.
Right.
I'm gonna take Rhea Ripley as well. I feel like she's still scratching the surface of her greatness. She beat Charlotte last year. Beating Becky Lynch would be another notch in her belt, and it would be cool. I think if she defeats Becky and then has like a little program with Liv to get back to that story and just to
Mm-hmm.
set her up for the gigantic match between her and Bianca.
Mm. Yeah, I like that. I
Or even say,
wouldn't mind if Liv took
or,
the title off of her either for that storyline.
or even like let her like have the live storyline at SummerSlam and have her retain have the match with versus Bianca at next year's Mania.
Yeah, that has to be a Mania match. That has
Yeah,
Mania
that's
money written all over it.
and we
The
know that WWE can do some long term planning with champions. I mean, look at Roman.
right, and
Yeah.
you have Jade is technically on SmackDown, but if she wins the Rumble next year, for instance, too, you could factor her into it. A
That's
power
fine by me.
match like that against Rhea is another money maker.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to go, but I agree. Like those are big card matches that you want to save.
And it'll bring, like I said, the money machine will be started printing for TKO. TKO.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, no question.
It's gonna print this year.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, so
very
you're like,
true.
yeah, I mean, it seems like it's been predictable so far, but it's all good. So like that's okay. Like next match is the IC title match between Gunther and Sami Zayn. Another one could steal the show.
Hmm. And again, predictable in terms of the outcome that I'm expecting Gunther to retain, but in terms of a work rate, in terms of a match that you'll enjoy from start to finish, that's going to be up there among all of them in terms of the actual work of the match. It's going to tell a good story over the 20, 30 minutes, whatever they get. and regardless of the finish, you know you're in for a good match with those two workers.
Did they wrestle in the Indies at all?
But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure of
And-
that, to be honest with you.
I mean, because it's like because there's like so many crazy stories like how many wrestlers that Sami Zayn did not wrestle like in Ring of Honor or Chikara or PWG. It's like the first time I know Ryan because Ryan and I talk like more often. I talk to you, Sharon, but like about especially about wrestling. I mean, you've seen the Sami Zayn Shinsuke Nakamura match, I presume, from NXT, right?
Yeah,
And it's the first time they ever fought each other. And
that's
it
crazy.
looks like it's crazy to think it's like a 5-star classic, and like yet like they've never touched.
Right.
Yeah,
That's why I speculate like, whether Gunther and Sami Zayn like wrestle the Ring of Honor as like Walter versus El Generico or
There are just some workers that no matter who they work with, especially with another great
work
worker,
great.
they just blend and mesh together. And you could go through the '90s, like anyone that Shawn Michaels worked with in the '90s,
Bret Hart,
out like that, huh?
Bret Hart,
Well, yeah, but I mean, even like
yeah,
he had a match with Mankind on a in your house card, and that was like,
Mind Games, yeah,
yeah, and
that
that
was
was
like the
an
most match of the
unbelievable match. And he took Sid to different levels, and obviously the Undertaker was a pretty good worker back then too. But whoever you put in a match against him, he kind of got the best out of him. It's the same thing with guys like Sami Zayn and Shinsuke, especially. I still think he's a great worker, but especially when they first brought him over and the way they had him built up in NXT, and
yeah.
I
you were
do.
getting great matches.
It's funny you mentioned Shawn Michaels because I'm wearing a Shawn Michaels t-shirt right this second too. I don't know, I thought that's what you were saying. I don't know if you were saying it because I was wearing the shirt. I swear, it's just funny to me.
Oh, that's
But
funny.
yeah, but yeah, but this match, like I said, this one only should get another 30 minutes at least. Like this could be like, and I could see it being doing everyone does everything to each other. They both, and then also like finally comes from Gunther at like 35 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, I think that it'll tell a good story. You still know who's likely going to win this, unless they're really going to surprise us. I think that this is a Gunther win, and they move on.
Yeah, I would hope so. I would. I mean, I'm torn, but I know Gunther winning is the right decision. I mean, because the title. I mean, the both of the titles are kind of occupied at the moment. I would love to see him finally start like working towards the world title picture. But
Right.
I mean, it's kind of like right now. This is like the perfect place for him to be.
Yep.
Yeah, and he made the Intercontinental Champion the workhorse title again.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And if I wouldn't be shocked if he was the threat next year at WrestleMania. He wins the Royal Rumble after being so close the last few years. Maybe he gets his revenge and he eliminates Cody if Cody's not the champion next year at the Rumble time. Um, but you still have a good gap between now WrestleMania and even the Royal Rumble, where I still think he holds that strap for a little bit longer before you start that WrestleMania or that championship, world championship build for him.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, you got the opportunities like to play it out for the you got a year.
Right.
And like I said, I mean, God, like it's crazy. I think Ryan and I talked about this. I'm not sure, but it's like it's just the transition he became, and he's became Gunther.
Hmm.
And people are like, what do you mean? Like he's lost like 50 pounds. He's got himself in
I
crazy
know.
shape.
I
Yeah.
loved him at NXT. I loved him at NXT too. But like you said, he went to the main roster, he got his body in better shape, and he's taking off.
And
And that,
he made it. But sorry, Ryan.
oddly enough, that was probably like a Vince McMahon thing at that time. Vince McMahon didn't, he was always big on physiques, and whether that played a role or not, it definitely helped with his appearance and his,
It's
again, overall
cardio.
in terms of how, yeah, and his cardio and how long he can go in these matches. He was still having great matches on NXT, but he
Right.
looks like a star right now. And, there's a lot of hoopla over him changing his name from NXT to going to the
What
main
Indies?
roster.
I was one of
Yeah,
them.
because
Hmm? I
yeah,
don't know.
I think I think everyone was. There was like, but yeah, he was like, he's 6'5", 300 pounds. Now he's 6'5", 250,
Mhm.
and eating better. That's what I
Right.
said. He just changes. He said his diet sucked.
Yep.
And the best thing, if you've never looked it up, look up the pictures before he got to like the Indies as Walter. Just like it's just like how is this guy a megastar? Like
Right.
anyone in the world. If you haven't seen the picture of Sharon, I recommend looking him up after the show.
Yeah, I saw a video.
Like the
I
green
want to say
hair.
either TikTok. Yeah.
It's like, what the hell is this? And next we got moving on, we got the six pack ladder match. I mean, this is I was kind of hoping for like a mystery team more than like I'd have tournament winners.
Right.
Not necessarily the Hardy, but like team we haven't seen in like a couple years. Maybe like I mean like Bully Ray Dudley hinted at it like on he tweeted out like, hey, it's in Philly.
Yeah, I saw that.
I
Probably
mean
go
Devon
down.
can't wrestle anymore. Yeah, I mean, even it was even I think even it was like Bubba Ray Dudley and Spike Dudley for one night.
I forgot about Spike. Yeah.
I don't know. Spike's
It
still
would work.
standing.
Yeah, I didn't even think about Spike. But yeah, it would, especially being in Philly.
Yeah, and you could have someone like Damian Priest throw him like through like four tables, like the big guys used to throw him through like sit and all, and they used to throw him through tables. Why
That's
not
what
continue it?
that's what I always remember about Spike too.
Yeah,
Just
just
the
getting
little guy just getting the
tossed and
crap out of him.
thrown.
I mean, the finals are like the finals are actually this coming Friday
Hmm.
between yeah it's
It's only two spots left, right?
I thought one.
Okay.
Are they even, let's see. Wait, I'm just checking something. One, two, three, four. You're right. That's true.
So there are two
Sounds like
spots left?
it sounds like it's gonna be either like I can never say like Legado del Fantasma and New Catch Republic versus or A Down Under in the Street Profits. It's gotta be the Street Profits. It's gotta be one of those teams. Just because Dawkins and Ford are just like so good, and they in a ladder match they'd be amazing to watch.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm still kind of like I'm kind of thrown off about Austin Theory because last year's WrestleMania, I mean, the past two WrestleManias, because he had the run in with Austin, and then last year he had the match with Cena. So I
Mhm.
was assuming that he was going to go on a trajectory. But I mean, I do like him with Gray Waller. I think like those two, along with Logan Paul, would be like a great faction. But I'm just kind of surprised that he hasn't really taken off as much as I thought he would.
Yeah.
Also trying to also trying to do the slow burn with him
I mean, the
after.
talent's there too. And it's just, I don't know if he ever got as over as a heel as they were expecting with those feuds that he had, especially with Cena. I think it was maybe a little bit of a letdown. I think he's going to have a face turn here soon enough with Waller playing the ultra heel, and maybe that kind of reboots him. In terms of the other teams left, I would love to see, the Street Profits as part of that. I know they beat AOP, but does AOP kind of cost them? And it turns that's another match that we were talking about potentially being one of those throw-ins where it's AOP and in a six-man tag there versus Street Profits, Bobby Lashley. Because how do you keep Bobby Lashley off this card again? Um,
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So my ring camera is kind of malfunctioning here as I'm looks like yeah, I don't know. Now I'm a little bit more in the dark. That's all right. So
Like I said, you can't script because it's live, Ryan. You're fine.
that's right. Well, this thing's been flicking for a little bit. It doesn't want to cooperate lately. So
Uh, I mean, I think the problem with the biggest problem with Austin Theory is like the main event is so like it's so the top level of Rest WWE is so stacked again.
mhm.
I mean, you get legitimately like seven guys right now that are considered like could make a claim for either world championship,
Yeah.
and I'm not mad.
No,
No,
That's the
it's
absolutely
back
best.
to how it was in the Attitude Era.
Yeah, I mean, it was like watching the Royal Rumble this year. It's like it's probably gonna be Cody winning again. Happy that Cody won because it made me money, but it's a whole different story. But like, it's like there was like seven guys in that Rumble. If they won, wouldn't have been mad at all.
right. A lot of different routes that you could go with right now with the talent level that they have, and that's a great thing.
yeah, it makes WWE like a frightening like juggernaut again.
Yeah, for sure.
So I mean, I mean, if those two teams, like, there's two teams, and I like I said, I don't know two teams are going to get in. We'll just, I mean, I definitely think it's going to be. You may be right with like, and I agree with you saying Bobby Lashley needs to be on this damn card. I mean, you can't do it 2 years in a row.
Right. And last year is just more of a bad luck than anything else in terms of he had a match and then it kind of everything with Bray Wyatt there health wise and couldn't get to the main card. So at that point, there wasn't much you could do. Hopefully this year you get him on the card.
Yeah, so I'll just get him on.
Yeah, I do. The team that I feel like will end up winning this. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if I'm wrong, but I kind of feel like they're gonna give it to like Miz and R-Truth.
That's where I feel like they're going to go to. I do.
Just the stupid shock value.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And they're over, and it's, everything with R-Truth being a member of the Judgment Day and that whole storyline. So I could see it. I don't think it would be a very long reign. I think they'd be transitional champions, but
Like maybe
be
to the
fun
next
while
pay
it
per view,
lasts.
maybe
Yeah.
Yeah.
if not tomorrow night, the next night on Raw.
Yeah, that could be a possibility too.
Yeah, I mean, you could get it off quicker. You could stretch it off if you really wanted to SummerSlam, which would be a few, there'd be another card mixed in there, obviously. There'd be some. The thing about the tag belts are they're not always defended on a regular basis. So this isn't
Right.
something where you'd have to see them have a lot of title defenses either.
Right. And it's yeah. Yeah, I don't know who to pick. I really don't. Like I mean, like they're all like it's like this is like a match where it's like literally every team makes sense and it'd be just great to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go with you guys and say awesome truth, but sure. Like I said, I think the biggest one is the fans, that six because it's there's gonna be at least like two crazy spots. Like one ladder's gonna snap in half. It's like required by rules now. I'm like ladder matches. Like the ladder's gotta snap in half and shock the hell out of everyone.
Right.
It'll be a fun match.
And the next oh, absolutely. I mean, like they never do bad with it. I mean, even though they've done a lot of them, like WWE doesn't do a bad ladder match.
No.
Next match is LA Knight versus AJ Styles. I mean, what happened to AJ? Like he looks like he's the size of like how much weight did he put on
Put on a lot of
in the
muscle.
A
last
lot.
God, he's a bodybuilder now.
He and Orton both, I mean, gone for multiple months. They both come back looking probably the biggest they've ever looked in terms of muscle mass. So he
I
definitely
agree.
looks more credible now than he has before.
Yeah.
But he was great before as well. Don't get me wrong. It's not like you ever thought of him as like someone that couldn't carry it. But right now he does look like he could if you get him the right storylines, give him the right I don't want to say gimmick, but I don't know how well this heel turn or this tweener mode, whatever you want to call it, is working for him.
Yeah, he's in no one's like he's no one you could think, hey, he's a former world champion. You could just throw him in there and you'd be like, cool.
Yeah,
And like I said, with his body mass built up, they may throw him back in there.
100%. I mean, this is just a short range feud, in my opinion. I don't have him coming out on the winning side. I think LA Knight wins this one to build him up for a title match of some sort at SummerSlam. But you can pivot and turn Styles into some other feud, some other championship here in the near future because of his track record, how well he's done. It's just there's so many upper talent level wrestlers right now that it's just tough to figure out who's going to get that next shot at running with the belt or getting one of those long established feuds.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I would go with LA Knight too. I mean, he was hot at the be like all of 2023, kind of tailed off after the championship match against Roman. This would be a great way, for him to beat somebody that is a quality opponent and, start back on the rise again.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting if AJ's like match change, like his style changes again. He's always evolved his style. I mean, between his TNA run, his New Japan run, and now back in WWE, like he changed style again. Like I think it was mainly because of a back injury he had got in New Japan that he changed like more ground based, and now he's built like a house. It may change again to more brawling, and who knows?
Yeah,
But I
because I've
agree. I
always
think
loved
LA
his
Knight.
style. I've always loved his style because him and Seth Rollins to me have been like my two favorite performers to watch in ring.
Yep. Always
Yeah,
puts on a
and
good match, always puts on, you know, always the 4 star, 5 star quality type of matches from him. The promo work's always been something that you could ask for something better. You could align him with someone else, a talking piece of sorts, maybe if you really want to take him to that next level. And maybe again, after this match, you slow play him a little bit. He has some unresolved business with his own kind of group there. I thought Carl Anderson looked like unbelievable, by the way, on SmackDown. If anyone saw him in that tag match, he was kind of flying around the ring, looked like he did when he was over in Japan wrestling as a singles wrestler. So maybe have him feud there a little bit with his own crew. There's been some rumors of people coming in for the Bullet Club that could kind of feud with AJ Styles too. So,
like Tama Tonga.
exactly.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I said, if there's any more coming, go like look out. This could be fun again.
absolutely.
Yeah, I have a question about Tonga, but I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it for the championship prediction.
Oh,
Okay. Ooh. Yeah, that's a good one there. Like in the next match, speaking of the Polynesian islands, we have Jimmy versus Jey Uso. And like I said, we're not we talked about earlier. Like this is not gonna be just a singles match. They're gonna put some gimmick into it. Like they said, Rikishi is the guest referee, as their dad, or even have him in make it a street fight and still have Rikishi as the referee.
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if a gimmick was added to it. Again, like I said earlier in the show, I think that Jay doesn't need this to the extent that Jimmy needs a win. I have this match on night one of WrestleMania. I see it being where on night one, the bloodline kind of reigns supreme. They have a successful evening and it all kind of falls apart on night two. So I'll go with Jimmy over Jay in this one.
I'll go with that.
Yeah, I'll take Jimmy as well. I know Rikishi has to like fit into the storyline at some point because I mean, over the past, I mean, 2 years, a year and a half, like his sons have been trying to kill each other. It's almost like bad dad of the year. Like he hasn't been father instinct.
Yeah, and he's hinted at a new bloodline,
Mm-hmm.
like like Rikishi has. So I mean, why not get him right involved with it?
Right.
Yeah, I didn't realize they had that many brothers.
There's four, I think.
Yeah,
I think there's like yeah, it's Jimmy J Solo, and there's a fourth. Like I think he's like the youngest brother. I think he's like training or something like that.
I think that might be the one that looks more like Rikishi, like almost looks like a twin of Rikishi.
Hmm.
That's scary thing. Like I loved when they actually showed like at the WrestleMania thing in Vegas. When they showed the whole bloodline, and it was like men and everything. And I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah, sorry to cut you off, Ryan. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just kind of agreeing with you on that point. And again, these two have said that this is like their dream match to wrestle one another at WrestleMania. So just from that perspective alone, I'm happy that they kind of get that what they want. Um, they're on different trajectories. Like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if in the next year or two, you have a small Jey Uso championship run on Raw with the title over there. That's how over he's been with the crowd. We've seen over the years that guys that you don't necessarily think could be world champion end up winning it. You could look at guys like Christian way back when during his feuds and guys like that that kind of tend to surprise you. I think that years ago I never would have thought of Jey Uso as a main eventer I could see that
No,
now.
I didn't. Yeah, I definitely didn't.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I think the bloodlines like those families are so big, like it's gonna be never ending, and it's not a bad thing.
No, not at all.
I mean, like I said, like especially if especially if the Rock's grandmother goes in the Hall of Fame, which is still rumored to happen. There's something else big happening with that. I mean, she's like a legend in like Hawaii,
Hmm.
like just as much as Peter was, as much as her husband was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, there's so many different routes they can still go here.
Yeah, and they probably all work out, which is the crazier thing. Like I never thought like this bloodline's like this is like the bloodline was like the NWO with what it should have been, like five guys max, and just be dominant. Instead of like hey, it's half of WCW. Oh, he's coming from WWE. Yeah, we're gonna throw him in the NWO.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Over the
Good,
years, it
bad,
definitely
different.
got to be too big of a unit.
Yeah, let's crush you. Oh, we could put them. We could put him in the NWO. Why not?
Hmm.
And before we get to the big the world title matches, we got the triple threat match with Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens in the triple threat match for the United States title. I can't see this opening, but like I can because I don't know what to put it.
There's gonna be some good spots. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's what I was saying. I was saying it's probably open the show, but like yeah, I don't know what to do with it. Like I think Logan like retains because I think he's gonna be like the good heel where it's like I'm gonna let these two guys just beat the crap out of each other. Like and it's just like step in and just take the title and run.
Yeah, I could see Randy Orton hitting an RKO or something on Kevin Owens, and then Paul pushing him out of the ring, getting the pin on KO and retaining. I think that he is going to eventually feud with LA Knight, and that might be the feud where he finally drops the title. But he's been great. I mean, this guy's had less than what 10 career matches was. I mean, it was had
I think it's
five.
like yeah, I think it's like five or six
Yeah,
tops.
and he's just
In
taking
a
to it.
And
like in like a year span too, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
unbelievable.
and I mean I hate the bastard. Let's just admit that. Like I'm just gonna put out there, I don't like him at all. But God, like I mean he's taking WWE seriously. Like I hate both brothers. I hope Tyson like legitimately just kills his brother. But just put that out there. Like no, it's a work. It's gonna be tons of money. It's no different than WWE to me.
Yeah. Well,
But I
speaking of
hope.
brother, real quick, that's going to make a ton of money because you throw
Oh
Mike
God, yeah, that's what.
and it's going to be on Netflix. But I also feel like he's in like a no-win spot minus the money aspect of it. And I guess the money part is what helps you out because you either end up defeating a 57-year-old or you somehow lose to a 57-year-old. And how do you come back from that? I know Tyson's one of the greatest of all time, but that's an interesting dilemma he's put himself in, money aside, and they'll be printing money for that, by the way. So
Right.
God, oh, but for both of them, Jesus, yeah,
yeah, yeah, for Tyson, sign me up. I mean, that's a huge payday that you weren't expecting. Little downside.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm watching this. I'm watching his sparring. It's like, good God, he's still hitting hard at 57.
It's
Yeah, I
gonna be a
saw that.
stamina. It'll be the stamina for him though. Like, how long can he do that for?
Well, but he was never known for his stamina. He was known for knocking people the hell out. Like, I mean,
Right,
just play
right.
Mike Tyson. I was just play Mike Tyson's Punch Out again.
Yeah,
That
and
would like that's not like a oh he's a super boss in a video game. No, he actually hit that hard. Usually most of his fights lasted one round.
right. I just don't know if you have the exact level of power that he had when he was in his 20s, but we'll see. I'll be one of those people watching it for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think
I'll
that's his
find somebody
only way to
similar.
win.
Yeah, and like I said, but back to like we can touch A Palm Mike Tyson for a whole thousand different times until that fight. Yeah, I think it's gonna be like like I said, Logan's gonna be like a sneaky heel and like he's gonna retain. But like I said, I hope these matches if there's only 10 matches, I'm fine with it. Just they have 5 night
Mhm.
and just like just drag them out. Like make the pay-per-views like 3.5 hours long. Get in, get out, or even four. and give people quality time. That's been like this. That's been probably with some Mania matches, like the go back to another triple threat match from 22 with Randy Orton actually, Randy Orton, Mysterio, and Angle. That match was what 7 minutes,
Yeah,
and it was
short.
a phonetic 7 minutes. Don't get me wrong, but if they got 30, they could have torn the house down.
Yeah, it was all over the place. It was all over the place in like 7 minutes, like RKO's, angle slams, and all that. Like,
Yep, limit the matches,
I
give them more time, especially those bigger matches where you have good workers.
mean, this whole card. I mean, I don't see a bad work on it. That's the scary thing.
Right.
And like I was saying, like despite I hate the bastard, like I said about Logan Paul and Jake Paul, but like, he's like Logan's taking this so seriously, which is great. Like he's like living in the performance center apparently, practically.
Yeah. And that's what you want. When you bring these celebrities over, um, before him, Bad Bunny too, they take it seriously. That's not just coming in thinking you can work at a high rate. You got to put the work in, and he certainly has.
It's not like certain ex NFL players that didn't take it seriously, or like in WCW or
Right.
basketball players, have we?
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like not naming names, Dennis Rodman,
I
Hey,
was thinking of
Rodman.
Car. Yeah, I was thinking of Karl
Malone.
Malone too.
God, that was on my birthday too. When I was like, I think I was 50. It was my 15th birthday when that show happened, and like it was just like this gonna suck. But it's like you can see all the press around the ring. It's like, oh God, that's just what they wanted.
It
But
is.
it was such a train wreck. Anything else you wanted for that triple threat match?
Nope. Good
Nah,
to
I'm
hear.
I'll take I'm taking Logan Paul too because I feel like the intensity between KO and Randy Orton is going to pick up in the next couple of weeks where they're going to like try to kill each other too, and I think that's where Logan Paul goes in and goes for the kill. Probably maybe even like a cheap win, maybe a tie up or grabbing the ropes or something like that. It'd be some like sneaky from behind win because I mean almost every match he's used the brass knuckles, right?
I
Quite
think
a
so,
few of
yeah.
them.
Okay, so I mean I'm I would think that they would probably try to use something else instead of going back to the same well for him to win.
Well, the triple threat will happen to like I said, like you have like Kevin Owens like stun Randy Orton or like Randy Orton like RKO's KO and just and then like Logan Paul just shoves him out of the ring and pins him. Like
Right.
I mean, let's just be clear. Like I don't think Randy's gonna show in hell even like if it's gotta be between Kevin and Logan. Like Randy does not need the US title for anything.
No.
Right. right.
Not in this stage of his career. So it's like I mean, it's just, I mean, he's gonna make the match better, but he's not gonna win. He's got no shot winning.
No. Yeah.
And now I say that he's gonna be like this is the only time I've never won. He's gonna win it.
I'd be surprised.
I would
Yeah, I
be
would
very
too.
surprised.
Yeah, I would too, because I don't really see the direction after Mania, like having a US title reign with Orton after Mania. It doesn't really make any sense.
Oh God, no, it doesn't. Yeah, and like I said, Owens is just like he can do whatever he wants. He doesn't need a championship.
Yeah,
Like
he's
he
one of
doesn't need.
those. Yeah, he's one of those kind of like championship caliber guys too. So yeah, I agree with you. He doesn't need the US belt.
And then we got the main event night one, the Bloodline, the Rock Reigns versus Seth Rollins. I'm not calling him Seth freaking Rollins. I think that's so stupid. Just he's Seth Rollins. Tyler
right.
Black. Call him anything you want. Just don't call him Seth freaking Rollins.
Fair enough. Yeah. With the whole storyline, I think that either outcome you could make sense of it where Cody gets Roman one on one. But to me, the heels winning on night one, Roman Reigns and The Rock,
Well, it
victorious
just adds to it.
adds to it. It allows faces and heels to interfere. You could have kind of like a not to get into that next match, that main event of night two, but you'd have the whole sequence of Solo Sikoa coming in again to do the spike, and this time Jey Uso pulls him off or whatever. At that point, it could be Rollins still. So I think you'll see a lot of interference in that main event on night two. So for that to happen, you need the heels to win, and then on night one, you can again have the bloodline all victorious with Jimmy Uso and then Roman Reigns and The Rock.
Yeah, they look super strong and going to night two. And
Yeah, I would lean more towards that way too, especially with The Rock. I mean, his first match in what 7, 10 years.
Been a
it's
while
like,
for sure.
Yeah, so
yeah, it was that.
I wouldn't think he would lose being away for so long, but
No, I doubt not that way. I mean, if it was Rock Roman, definitely, if they wanted to do, it would have been that he would definitely have lost. But no, with this tag match, yeah, he's got to win. Did I lose you guys?
Nope, still here.
Okay.
You know, I think we're all
Both-
kind of just in agreement there, and
yeah.
yeah, one of those things.
I could see like funky interference in this match too.
Yeah, I mean, the heels find a way to win due to interference, and makes tons of
And
sense.
except so this was gonna be like night two in the main event, and then they go off the air with that.
Yep, absolutely. And it's funny because night one of last year's WrestleMania, everyone went home happy. You have KO and Zayn winning the titles, fireworks, all this stuff. I think, and then everyone just bewildered on night two. Maybe it's a flip of that where you have the heels victorious in night one, and you expect that. I mean, that's not going to come out of left field, but uh,
No.
send them to night two though, looking for the happy ending.
And then not give it to him.
Oh gosh, yeah, we'll
And
get
it's
to
come on, it's
that.
a very oh come on, come on, it's a very mild mannered city, Philadelphia. Come on, no, they would take it they would totally take it in stride.
Yeah,
Nah.
They would probably they would probably legitimately burn down like a financial field if they had Roman win.
I've
They
said that
would.
to a few of my friends, even my wife. I said I'm kind of like nervous about that.
Come on, like I said, it's like it was like the joke. I mean, we're all Bills fans. Like you got the joke of like if it was actually the Buffalo Philadelphia Super Bowl that they were talking about, the Northeast wouldn't have survived.
yeah, the outcome one way or the other, absolutely. Philadelphia is, I don't know if passionate's the right word, but uh, it's part of
That's
it.
one
So
word,
that's
Ryan.
one
Right.
word.
It's one word.
They'll definitely,
Uh,
respond though if that were to
I mean,
happen.
we could say that. I mean, this is my show. We could say those other words, but
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I think
they don't
it'll get
all.
crazy.
And they're similar to fudge, but not quite. Like it's just yeah, it's gonna be like I mean I there that's gonna be it's gonna be crazy seeing it in a football like Philadelphia stadium. Like this the crowd's gonna be so different than any other place we've seen it. I mean we've had it in Jersey, I get it, but like Philadelphia is just a different animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And like I mean I've been to Philly. It's like they're just different. I mean I think you went to the Eagles game this year, right, Ryan, for like when you were covering the
No, I
Bills.
didn't. I didn't do that one. Schedule didn't work out, but I mean, they're different
That's
fan.
that's that's I was it's probably for the best for your own safety. Like I've always heard stories from my dad, like how crazy they were, like when he would see the Phillies play, and
Yeah,
like he like one game he couldn't like his buddy in the service wouldn't let the ushers wouldn't let sit down there because like the usher told him the short throwers were there because they used to throw us on the field there in the '60s in Philadelphia. So it's like, good God, so that's where WCW got it from. Makes more sense now.
that's right.
Yeah, so first the two world title matches. Yeah, so we got Seth Rollins versus um Drew McIntyre. Like, did he sign a new deal? That's my question for Drew.
I haven't
He's
heard
been
anything.
quiet. He's been either he either signed a deal and he signed a new deal and it's super quiet, or he hasn't signed a new deal.
I think it's the former. I think he signed a deal and they're just kind of keep it under wraps because again, if you think he's gonna win the strap, which I think he's going to, you don't want to put that on someone whose contract is running out in the near future. Not like he's going to show up on AEW TV or something like that, but you want to be able to invest in this guy, let him have that WrestleMania moment they didn't have a few years ago during the pandemic. He's having this good run right now as a heel, not just on TV, but like the social media stuff. He's been fantastic embracing it, and it's really helped him quite a bit there too. So, you have him win the match. I guess my big swerve in this one is I see Damian Priest cashing in after it, which
Does he win it?
what's that? I don't know if he
Does he
defeats.
win?
I don't know if he defeats McIntyre or not. But think about all the times that McIntyre kind of cost Priest from cashing in over these last few months. It makes sense that
Ooh.
That's true.
he eventually cashes in against him. It would further the McIntyre storyline if he were to lose it after kind of just winning it there at WrestleMania. Gets his moment there briefly. Priest wins it, and then he's kind of ticked off again over how things went and didn't play in his favor. But at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Priest had an unsuccessful cash in.
Or you could have him cash it in and win and have Damon or have Drew like just or have Drew snap and be like, I'm done with this company. I'm just done. And
Yeah, I mean, if he hasn't re-signed a deal, I guess that's one way around it. Have him win
even
the title,
or make it
lose
seem
it
like
the same night.
he hasn't signed a new deal and have him take
Right.
him off TV for months and have him show back up like at SummerSlam. Phil, you there? Yeah, my friend Phil just showed up, but we'll work him in once he gets his technology to work eventually, maybe. Not that we've ever had issues with that, like, an hour, like about an hour ago.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, like that'd be just fun.
Yeah, I would think Drew would have to win at this point. I would think he would have to defeat Seth Rollins, especially like I mean, contract aside, everything that he's been doing, like you said, with social media, the promos. I mean, he's striking gold. So, I mean, I would say they would have to put the title on him.
Yep,
Even
completely agree here.
even for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't see him having like a long reign, especially whatever. I mean, if he does stay, whatever they decide to do was between him and Punk, I wouldn't think that his reign would be long.
I mean, Punk's probably out till when, like SummerSlam, maybe a little after. I mean, Punk's hinted he's gonna do something at WrestleMania. He just hasn't said what.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be at Raw tomorrow.
Yeah, I think you're right. And maybe, maybe that adds to the intrigue and he's like the referee or something for Rollins and McIntyre and because he has a storyline with both of them. And it
Yeah.
makes sense from that perspective. He gets his WrestleMania payday. I think he's actually on a pretty good pace based on the videos that we've seen of him on social media. It looks like I wouldn't be surprised if he fought at SummerSlam and was ready to go at that point. So work him in that regard slowly, give him a little bit of a payday and a spotlight at the show. And he's not going to be wanting either guy to win in that match. So that kind of adds to the intrigue of it all.
Right.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't know how you end that match. Like, I mean, I love to see like Drew win, just because, like you said, he's been fired on social media, and so. But like, what do you do after?
Yeah.
Do you have Priest come out, run out catching? Do you have him catching mid match and like just do it set to Brock and Roman?
Right. I mean, you could do that. I would think you'd have him do it post match personally.
Especially if it's like a long, dragged out match, and have him be like tired and
Right.
Yeah, because I think it's only been Seth's the only one that cashed in at Mania so far, right?
I think so.
I believe so.
So that would be kind of like irony if a cash in happens on one of his championship matches, since he started like the whole
Yeah,
cash in at WrestleMania.
yeah, it would be. It'd be the big no, and it would work.
Yeah.
So yeah. Mm. So save the best for last, I guess. The championship with Roman and Cody,
Okay.
the big rematch from a year.
I got a question.
Absolutely.
So any chance that Tonga joins the bloodline?
Which one?
Uh, Roman.
The one with Rock. I could see him starting the one with the if like say the Rock screws Roman out of the title. I could see him being like being the Rock's like muscle, like how Solo's Roman's muscle.
Yeah. Because I'm just so. I mean, I feel like story purposes, Cody would have to win. I mean, because he's kind of running out of chances to get Roman. And I mean, the title reign has gone on pretty long, and it's like if he keeps it, I mean, who else is going to be the challengers for it? So, and then I have like this one theory too that like he may lose, and then I know they're supposed to have like I know they have like a one show at Madison Square Garden, and I remember like it was one segment where Cody talked about like that's the place where his dad won and it got taken away. So there was like a part of me that thought that maybe he would lose in Philly and then somehow maybe win Money in the Bank and then wins at MSG. But just to lose 2 years in a row at Mania, the same person having a crowd behind you like this, I think it'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be tough. I mean, I want to say tough to come back from, but almost in a way it would be. Like, how do you take him credibly, even with outside interference, which you're expecting again this year? You build up this story now for 2 years. I feel like the payoff has to be at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But originally, I was right there with you. Like, especially when it looked like he was giving up the match to The Rock at one point. I said, well, I
Hmm.
guess you could still have him do the whole Madison Square Garden deal. I just don't know when, if or when they have a card coming up there because, like you said, Dusty wins the title there, and then just for them to take it away, it would have been very cool storyline wise for Cody to win it there. But I think this is the year. I think the crowd goes home happy. Cody Rhodes, he's sick of the saying, but he finishes the story, and it allows the WWE to pivot a little bit. Roman Reigns can have a feud with The Rock, and I know The Rock's going to be gone filming a movie sooner rather than later, but there's ways around that.
Oh
Um,
yeah. That's the
Reigns,
main one. That's the main one I'm waiting on
yeah,
is that match.
Reigns can still come and cut promos. The Rock can do it via satellite, something like that. But then you can eventually have that feud, and after that, whatever Reigns wants to do. Because I don't think that Reigns will ever be more than what he is now in terms of the amount of appearances. He's going to be a part-time guy, and I get that. And I respect it. I do think there'll be some roles for him in Hollywood. Not saying he's the next Rock or Cena in major movie roles, but I could see him having some parts in some movies or TV shows. So you're probably going to want to pivot away from him, build as many stars as you can. And Cody's kind of shown that his crowd reactions have still been very strong over this whole time after losing it, after being out of the main event picture with that feud with Brock Lesnar and building his way back up. So I think he's the guy, and you give him the ball and see how long he can run with it. And, if you do see a dip in ratings or whatever they're ending up kind of looking at as the success meter, you can pivot, you can find a way to kind of throw someone else into that mix and create new feuds.
yeah, I tend to 100% agree with all of that. I mean, with yeah, with like Roman, yeah, he doesn't need to be full time anymore.
Right.
He just doesn't. It's
Yeah,
just that
he's
simple. It's like I mean, my question is based on like last week's promo that's with on Raw. Does are we going PTV 14 again? I gotta ask.
I mean,
I mean,
I would say, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, when it changes over to Netflix and you have the deals there, and I think then they can kind of tinker with that a little bit more. And yeah, I could definitely see it happening though soon, just not yet.
because guys, I know they both got like a notice saying that you can't really say that on TV, or we don't want you to say that on TV between The
Yeah,
Rock
that's
and
exactly what I
Cody.
was
Is
gonna
like,
say.
well, it's like, yeah, the elusive deal, like the elusive, no, you can't say this, this, and this, and this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it
The
definitely kind of
LD,
like teetering with the Attitude Era vibes.
yeah, the LDE line was a little, like that was a little surprising. We'll just say.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully, Brian, you had your kids out of the room. You guys had your kids out of the room when that line came
yeah,
out.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Do this your own too. Jeez.
I think he got kicked or something. It looked like his picture changed and then he kind of left.
Like if he what if he bounces back? I mean, I know you had to bounce out in like a couple minutes, but like yeah,
Right.
I'm good. I'm glad you came on. I mean, we did this in an hour and 15 minutes. That's not bad. It's not bad for me.
Hey, got through the
I know.
car, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I know one mutual friend of ours. We're very proud of you. We did this in an hour and 15 minutes. Not naming names, Matt. He got so mad. I think it was like last year's draft. I think I had him on my show, and it was like, and we went for like 2.5 hours.
Whew.
And he messaged me afterwards, like, and he told me again, like at one of your shows, it was like, how do you do it for 2 hours? I'm like, like, the draft's a big deal, man.
Yeah.
Like, if that's my baby, that's my baby. I'd really talk about that for 4 hours and talk about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I could see how that works. I do love the draft too, so completely understand. But thank you very much for having me on. Oh, look at that, he's back. Just
Yep.
perfect transition here as I'm
Like
ducking
smooth.
out. So
Yep. We'll wait till he gets
go,
on. You can
guys.
leave if you want.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks again for coming for Ryan.
Absolutely. See ya.
Yep. Yep. Just let me know when you're Sharon. Like I can see like you're muted and no camera, right? But like welcome back.
Yeah, it like crashed out for some reason.
It happens, dude. My usual co-host named Mary Lee, like I love her to death, but like when we used to do a show on Blog Talk Radio at 2 hours, it would kick her off every week
Oh wow.
on the dot. Because I think it was just like her iPhone couldn't register the 2 hours or something like that, and it would just drop her like instantly. So
Oh,
just to be an ass, I would ask her an important question at like 1:59:30 every time, and then like one so the question would end at like 1:59 like 55, so she would start talking and would just drop her every week just to piss her
oh,
off.
yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, we were just talking about like the end of the main like the main event we were talking about between like Roman and Cody, like how it was like not like, the last 2 weeks have been like not quite TV PG to say the least.
Yeah,
And I know
yeah,
like,
it's
and
kind
they
of
know there's been like they've been a little bit they've been a little bit edgy.
yeah. It's been it's. I mean, I feel like that has that. I mean, obviously, I think that has a lot to do with The Rock. He's kind of like had his foot or hands all over this the road to WrestleMania. So it's kind of like even pivoted with the promos. I don't think I definitely know Cody would be saying the things that he said if The Rock wasn't involved. So it is kind of cool to see like the future of where we're gonna go once the Netflix deal starts.
Yeah, definitely think they're testing the water.
Yeah,
I
yeah, for
mean,
sure.
I mean, grant they pretty much have carte blanche, like certain words. Obviously, they won't say like they won't f bomb on like national TV. I don't think. I mean, they're not
Yeah,
AEW, and like I'm surprised they let them do that on TNT. Like
yeah.
I'm floored when they do it. It's like because like I remember the WCW days, and they wouldn't let hell like barely let them say ass on TV.
Yeah, that was kind of like Fox too. A couple weeks ago, they were like cutting everything out during the Rock's promo.
Yeah, it was like I mean that's the blessing of tape delay. God, as fun as the like worked in like loosely worked in television for like a volunteer aspect for like the LPGA and the PGA when it's here. The tape delay is your best friend,
Yeah.
especially if you got like 10 or 15 seconds because you can cut a lot out.
Yeah, I'm glad too. I mean, because I miss obviously I mean I miss the Attitude Era. That was so much fun back then. So
I I just don't. I honestly, the only thing I don't miss is the chair shots to the head. I don't. I really don't
yeah,
miss those. Not even
yeah, like
not even know what we know now. It's just like
yeah,
it's hard to watch.
yeah. Especially when I see like anytime Mick Foley shows up. Yeah, I remember all
Yeah,
those
it's like
matches where he took like the chair
like
shots.
13 chair
That
shots.
yeah, with the I Quit match with The Rock.
Yeah, that's I can I struggle to get through that one now.
Yeah, it's hard, man. I haven't watched it
Yeah,
in a
it's
long.
like
I think the last time I watched it was when they did that the movie.
yeah on the mat.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just like they knew then how bad head trauma was, and they just don't do anything. It's like the NFL, the same thing.
yeah, yeah,
It's
for
just like you
sure.
guys knew. They've
Oh
known for
yeah,
100 years.
right.
Like there's a they used to call the term punch drunk, and they coined the term like in 1930.
Yeah, because
They
during
told
that
they didn't
time,
know.
like they were during that time, like I mean, I can't think of like any big storyline or any big match that wasn't used with a chair shot.
Oh, I literally just thought about like even Austin matches had like a lot of chair shots. Like between him and Foley had a lot. Taker had a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, I remember the one where Austin saves Stephanie from being sacrificed, and he comes down the ring. I think everybody in the ministry got hit with a chair.
Probably or the I mean the chair shot I'll never forget is that Ken the Rock versus Ken Shamrock when he just lit him in the face.
Oh yeah, when he was on his knees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And just KTFO'd Ken Shamrock, I think. And Ken tell me better make it look real. And then, well, I think The Rock took a little liberty, but still, it was just like, good God.
yeah.
But yeah, like back to
I wonder, because I know Jimmy and Jay have been kind of teasing. There's going to be more Bloodline members. I wonder, are we going to see any at WrestleMania?
I think either if we don't, we see him the next night. I think we see him Raw the night after. I think one or the other, or both.
Yeah, because I mean, I just got a feeling if Cody does lose, I mean, like it's
Like I said, just play the song from Never Ending Story and have him win it next year and make it a running joke.
right.
So many, I forgot who posted a video that they had a match. They had like Sika versus Cody Dusty Rhodes from like '82. They posted it, and
Mhm.
it's like both their dads. And it's just crazy to see that. It was like an MSG and everything.
Yeah, I think I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap. It was like it was just exciting. I mean, I know like they like everyone wrestles everyone, but holy cow.
Yeah, it is crazy, man. I know like wrestling is almost like a small family circle, and you see like a lot of the generations have already crossed paths over the years and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it helps that we're our age, like between like late 30s, early 40s, where it's like where like it was the best time to be a wrestling fan because you had like WCW on TBS, you had WCW the especially the NWA when it was good NWA, mind you,
Yeah,
and like then you got like then WCW came out of it, then you WCW EC, then ECW showed up, and it was like the whole 90s were just like there. Then all of a sudden like being in 21st century, ECW was going, it's only WWE. Like the evolution of the sport, for lack of better words, or like it's like if I was talking about like things my friend Phil was supposed to show up tonight, but he had like technical issues. He just messaged me.
okay, it's all
Watching
good.
like yeah, like watching stuff like in the WCW 1999 and thinking they're doing this right now, and they got like a year and a half left. All the
Yeah,
crap they shove into like a year and a half. It's like they did like 10 years of wrestling in a year and a half. None of it was any good, but or like selective was good, but still. it's just like insane, like how much the business changed between like when like Goldberg won the WCW title for the first time till 3 years later they're gone.
Yeah.
Is me still.
Yeah, because I mean, I remember like being younger then. I was shocked. I thought the whole like WCW, WWE, well, F storyline. I thought it was just a storyline. I thought they were like working together during that time. I had no idea like he actually bought it.
Well, the crazy thing is like I think a lot of wrestlers legitimately did not know that they were being bought by WWF till like the day of like the 26th, like the fateful day in March, like 2 days from now. Like, 18 God, like yeah, I think like 23 years ago was like when Vince bought WCW.
I know.
It's just it's like stuff that makes me like, okay, cool, something happened 23 years ago. Like, I don't care. Like, wait, Vince bought WCW, got him old. Good, got him old.
Yeah, I remember that whole night when Shane popped on the screen said he bought WCW. Is crazy. Like,
Yeah, yeah, like wait, what? I mean, I think I knew about it like for a couple of days, but so it didn't really soak in when like because even like they said the week before, half the wrestlers thought like that Bischoff was buying them and like starting a whole new thing like in Vegas and all that.
mhm.
That was the original plan.
Oh, to buy it and go to Vegas.
Yeah, go to Vegas and get it. Basically do what like WWE did like when they were in the Manhattan Center for like a year. Just
Hmm.
do that and have be at MGM Grand like every week, just building up the base and starting new and saying like this is the new WCW. We're like we can be edgy again
Yeah,
because we're in Vegas. We're in Vegas. We're not in Atlanta.
yeah, yeah. It would have worked.
It probably would have.
Yeah, it's still I know it's crazy like to think like how many people I want to say maybe Vince put out of business.
More than you want to
Yeah.
know. I mean, just between like all the companies like AWA, WCW, ECW, like it's like just like there's a whole like I've never seen like the territory map. Like I think it's from like this like the late 80s, and it's like crazy to see like how like how many there were. It's really unreal.
Yeah.
If you haven't
Yeah,
seen it,
Duke.
I'll send it to you on Twitter like a couple minutes after we get off air.
Okay. Yeah, dude was a shark, man. He's like he definitely was about taking them.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Crockett's and NWA weren't exactly saints in that, but oh yeah, WWE ruined everything. It's like no, they were all trying to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, he just had more
He
pull, more
he had more pull, he had more moxie, and like he also
yeah.
had the money.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big thing. I think that helped him too a lot during that time too, because he knew it. Like he knew like
Yeah,
he none of those guys could touch him, so he pretty much just did whatever he wanted.
and I mean, he also gave him like instead of like hey, like he promised people jobs, and
Yeah,
that's how people like yeah, we'll buy you out, but here's the catch, like you have to do X, Y, and Z for us,
yeah,
and it worked out. I mean, so much was luck, but like fortune always favors the bold, I guess.
yeah. Because like I said, I mean, I've always been a fan of wrestling. I've always watched WWE, like through all the eras. But it's just like the Austin McMahon feud, the Austin Rock feud, like those to me when it kind of like took. I mean, it took the company to like a different level.
Yeah, it made Vince from a millionaire to a billionaire.
Yeah, and just two feuds, really, two storyline. Well,
Yeah,
mainly one storyline, him and Austin, but
you,
just to
yeah, him
have
and Austin
like,
just like and just throw Mike and we can throw Mike Tyson there just for fun.
right, yeah, that's when he
Like
started crossing. I
people,
mean, he was always doing like celebrity appearances, but man, like have
that
WrestleMania and then
that
you have
was
Mike Tyson. Yeah, that was
I
the one.
I'm I'll never forget that shove because it was on every news station, not just like ESPN, like CNN and all that. It was on my local news.
Yeah, and when
Like you
Austin
couldn't
shoved
buy that kind of publicity. Yeah, which Austin shoved
right,
Mike.
yeah. I
I
know. I
mean
think they
they
kind of like
and
gave
it
him the idea, like moving forward, man, like to merge his company with the bigger networks out here.
Absolutely. Like I said, just the stuff like the history of like WWE, like just looking from like 1990 to 2000s, like how different, like how much he like just yeah, he just changed the business.
Yeah.
He may be weird and a sick bastard off the air, but like he knew what the hell he was doing.
Oh yeah, I mean, his character is almost as big as like some of the characters that he created.
He was the greatest heel of all time. I mean,
Right. Right.
he came out the night after Montreal and said, "Yeah, Brett screwed Brett. What are you going to do about it?"
Right.
And mark my words, if that didn't happen, wrestling is dead in America.
Hmm.
Like I think WCW, if like WCW may have beat WWE in the war, but I think WCW dies by like 2002, 2003, just to the sheer fact that like Turner didn't want it anymore.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's the thing too. You have one guy that I mean that wanted to compete and go all the way, and then I mean Ted had other ventures that I mean he
Well,
cared about
it was
mostly.
it wasn't even Ted though. It was like the guys above him because when AOL Time Warner bought him, it's like Ted's like, I have powers. I can't keep this on the company in the air anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what killed WCW. It's like I said, WCW probably survived, like limped along for like a couple more years. Saying the yeah, we're the only game in town. Like I think AOL Time Warner probably bought WWE out if WWE was down that low. And like I
Yeah.
said, probably didn't. And they're like, well, crap, we just lost a ton of money by buying this other company, and we're just sell it off and not have TV anymore. And American wrestling would be essentially dead.
Yeah, because for most, I mean, for majority of that, wasn't Vince like private?
Yeah, until like '99, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, because like my buddy's dad, for like a high school. I remember my buddy's dad bought him WWE stock like the day it came out and gave it to him as a high school graduation gift, and he just like cashed it like when like TKO bought him because he made a whole ton of money.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was like $4. It was like something like $3 a share when he bought it. It was like selling it like 91. I'm like, well, that's a nice return on investment. I'm like, a note to self, develop a time machine, please.
Right.
Buy WWE, buy Apple. It's like just live off the profits and never work again.
For sure. For sure, man.
You're saying like you're in St. Louis, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Just if I remember you. You're not coming to Philly, are you?
I wish. I
I, I
wish I
I
would.
looked at tickets for fun like 2 days ago and I almost cried.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been looking just
Like
off and on, man. But yeah, I can't do it this year.
I'm like a 6 hour drive. The funny thing is, I'm gonna be in Philly the following weekend for my that girl mentions my usual co-host is getting married in Philly the next weekend.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just pisses me off. Like I'm like, really, you picked the weekend after Mania? She's like, well, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it Mania weekend because hotels are too much. I'm like, oh, that's a good point, but you could have done it like in like May.
That's true.
It's like
Yeah.
I'm taking off of the draft. I'm taking off of your wedding now. I'm like, it was just like craziness.
Yeah, I'm thinking about coming up for the draft though. I'm not sure what
What
day yet.
like Detroit or like Buffalo?
Detroit.
Yeah, draft's a good time if you get to go. I always recommend like I did two in New York. I did the EJ Manuel and the well, who the hell was it? Oh, Darius when we took him third overall. That was draft's a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, the last one I went to the one in Nashville.
Oh, nice. Yeah, like it was funny because when the NYPD told me, like, this is the only time you ever see all 32 fans and they should get along.
Right. Yeah, it
It's,
was
it's
cool.
draft day. Like, yeah, that's what I should go and do. I wonder if they'll put it in Buffalo. I mean, they're putting it in Green Bay, I think, next year.
Yeah.
God, they could be really good or really bad. Like based on weather, like there could be 2 feet of snow on the ground. It could be 4 degrees outside too. They
Yeah,
have a
they
backup plan.
that's I didn't think about that. Yeah,
I
I didn't
mean,
think
Nashville
about that.
didn't. Was it Nashville? It was pouring the hell out.
Yeah, it
That
rained.
one.
Yeah, because I was there for the full weekend. It rained. The weather was perfect until the start of the draft and it started pouring down rain. So everybody was
It
kind of
might be a
like stuck, like out there in the rain.
it might be a sign from someone above saying hi, having a sense
Right.
of humor about things.
Right. Because it was literally after the Cardinals clock stopped that oh no, it started. When the clock started, it started pouring out rain.
Go figure. That's funny to me. I'm sorry that you were in that, but it's hilarious.
Oh no, I was laughing too.
It's like you're like really funny.
Right. Yeah, I was laughing too, like I said, because everything was cool until that. Luckily it didn't rain too long, it stopped, but yeah, it was crazy.
That- That's when we took Ed, right?
You said what?
Yeah, it's the Nationals the one we took Ed, like Ed Oliver. That's all
Yeah,
the drafts like blur together for me. It's like which one was that? Yeah, that was Ed Oliver. Man,
yeah,
he was so happy to come to Buffalo.
yeah, yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. Who you got anybody in mind for this year?
Probably receiver. Like I couldn't give you an exact one yet. I think
Yeah,
it's be. I hope it's like I think it's Mitchell.
I that's where I was gonna that's what I'm gonna say because I mean obviously the top four
Yeah,
because I feel
Marvin.
like
Marvin. No way in hell.
nah. Marvin, I feel like Thomas to be he'll probably be one of the four too going before us.
Yeah, I just don't know where Brian Thomas goes. That's the question because he's got the production. He had a hell of a combine,
Hmm.
and I just like he could go anywhere between like 12 and like 25.
The one thing I don't want is Worthy to go to the Chiefs. Like anybody take Worthy but the Chiefs.
I really don't. God, I know it's just like my only concern with Worthy overall is his size.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think
Like
he.
he's
I mean,
stupid.
even if he goes to Kansas City, I don't. If he went to Kansas City or even somewhere else, I don't. Especially there, I wouldn't see him as being like the
He's
receiver.
not Tyreek.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's like I work with two diehard Chiefs fans. Feel sorry for me. Uh, and they're like, oh yeah, he's the next Tyreek Hill. It's like he's 160 pounds. If he gets hit, he's gonna be knocked into next week.
yeah. I
But
would
he's
think he'd be
fast.
more like Miko. He's like a faster, but like a better version of Hartman.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Like like you said, my worry is he's gonna be John Ross 2.0, where he's just stupid fast but can't do anything else.
Yeah,
It's like you just
yeah,
drafted your returner. Cool.
yeah. So I'm hoping we get Mitchell. I feel like Mitchell, Franklin. Um, I say Thomas, but I think he might be gone. But I'll add him like in that round too. And
Yeah. Leggett from
Leggett.
South Carolina.
Yeah,
I like that's about signing all these guys like safeties and like receivers was like it's making us like less predict.
yeah.
Like 2 years ago when we took Elam, it's like, duh, we're taking him.
I know. I still feel like we got the Chiefs took McDuffie before we were.
Yeah,
I've had a feeling we
that
were
was
going
our
to get
guy.
him. Yeah,
He was our guy. I think we tried to trade up in the team. I forgot who it was. Like in 19 told us no.
yeah.
That's happened to us a few times over the years.
Oh yeah, I remember.
The great example is actually for like when we got JP.
Hmm.
Not to like try to like on bad news, but like we tried to trade up to get Ben. We offered basically the deal we got to give Dallas for JP. It was like a 1-2 and a it was like 1-2-5 and a one the next year. We offered that to Jackson when Jackson said no, we want Reggie. They wanted Reggie Williams no matter what.
Yeah,
So that's what we offered just to move up like six like four spots. It was like from like 11 to 7. I mean, Lee Evans was no slouch. I was very happy with Lee.
you think we trade? You think we trade up, or we stay at 28?
I think we trade up.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna be aggressive enough. Not like stupid aggressive. We're not gonna like obviously like 28-3. Like we're not gonna pull a we're not gonna pull a Julio Jones here, but like
yeah.
I'm gonna say never say never right now. After that trade, which no one saw coming, because I was at that draft when Atlanta traded the house for Julio,
Hmm.
and it worked out for them. Like, I don't think we're going to trade up to get Marvin Harrison Jr., but like if we did, damn. That's all I'm gonna say is damn.
Yeah, that
Like
was
we
it.
could trade like 4 or 5 and get
I
him.
wonder if that rumor true. I read something that he preferred to go to. Well, he wants to go to Buffalo.
I haven't seen that one. I know Leggett wants to go to Buffalo because he likes Josh Allen's arm and all that.
Yeah, I saw that one. I saw him.
Like Ryan that was just on, like, I mean, he covers the Bills like a lot. Like he does like New York upstate stuff if you didn't know who he was.
No, I do actually. Funny
Yeah.
story. I'm subscribed to him and Matt's
Yeah. Or
insider.
Shout.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, cool.
yeah. So when I saw his face, I was like, oh man.
Yeah, the joke is also the running jokes. I know like everyone. Like
Yeah.
when I do my shows, like I'll bring like a who's who out. Like you're more than welcome to come back on draft night if you want. Like I'm doing a draft, like I'll be on from like 6 o'clock to like whenever it ends, and probably like to 2 in the morning.
Okay, sure.
Just out
Yeah.
here, just out here, just shooting the shit. It's like it's what I do. Like my
Oh yeah,
draft's my
yeah.
like I don't know if you were on my side, but like my draft's my baby. Like Ryan, like Ryan doesn't mind doing podcasts with me. Matt hates doing podcasts with me because I can do like 3 hours without trying. And like, and he's like, how do you, because he messaged me after, like we did like an hour and a half show. He's used to do like their show is like 30 minutes, like the shot one. When they do like
Yeah.
on location, like they do like 30, 45 minutes. I'm like 2 hours. I'm just gaining my stride. Like the year we yeah, it was the national draft. I literally was on air from like 6 a.m., 6 p.m. till like 2 in the morning. Like, and I'm like writing everything down. Like I had like a whole like 3 pages of my notebook written down, like just like trades and stupid stuff like going on,
Yeah.
like and entire stuff happening. Like if I want like a useless knowledge fact, like I had my friend next to me just writing stuff down so I could say it on there. It's like stuff like that. Like we had like I had like 12 people on. It was a great time. I said, you're more than welcome. Hell, if you want to co-host, like I'll welcome you right on. Like it's like 6:30. We just go from there.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah, I'll
And
definitely
and
do it.
the best thing about having like a lot of people on is like you don't have to vamp as much, which is nice.
Yeah,
Like
I
you can
got
so
you.
you can like piece it. Like if you've got peace, I'll go to the bathroom like 2 minutes. You can just message someone, like just like talk,
Yeah.
and they're cool with it.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Like I
cool.
said,
Yeah, I'll definitely do it.
yeah, cool. Like I said, I'll definitely like give you the link. I'll probably write the link sooner than later just to have it up. Like
Okay.
I'm having my friend. I know my friend Devin's coming on. I'm gonna try to like I said, I'm trying to get like a dozen people on, and hopefully, and we're pretty good at like talking over each other, which is good.
That's cool, man. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, like I said, I don't believe in filters. Like if you want to swear, go right ahead. I don't care. Like I really don't. Like I mean, like I used to do like a show on Blog Talk, and when we did the draft, it was like, and the guy told me don't swear. I'm like, really? We're talking about with this when we were just talking about combat sports. I'm like, it's an emotional thing. Combat sports, you're gonna get mad at. It's a art. It's a heated thing. There's going to be language. And then I lobbied like, can I have like 6 hours for like a draft special? And I did it there too. And I remember
Yeah.
like one of the stupid traits that, and I like, and they were like, there, I mean, you can't swear on this. This is like, this is prime time. This is 8 p.m. And then like a stupid trait, and I was like, oh shit, like live on there, like, and I get a little message. I'm like, I didn't see that trade coming. Sorry, I was just looking up. I see this trade happened. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or when a
It's
dumb,
in the
or
moment,
like,
man. Yeah.
yeah, it's in the moment. It's when like when like ready to take clean and violence of Ed Oliver. It's like you don't see that coming.
Yeah, for sure.
There's like yeah, there's one dumb trade up. There's one. There's yeah. So there's I think the trade was when the Giants traded up for Danny Dimes and gave up like a future first for him to Chicago.
Yeah, that was the draft that I was at Nashville.
Yeah, it was like what do you? I think I yelled like, "What the f are you doing?"
Yeah, I was laughing.
Yeah, there's like they said, there's always one every year in the first round. There's like it's the Kadarius Tony pick for the Giants. That's what if they trade back up for Kadarius Tony. What the hell are you thinking?
Oh yeah, that was the Devontae Smith. That was the Devontae Smith
Yeah,
draft. Yeah.
yeah, and they could. So yeah, like I said, it's just like, what are you thinking? Like, or just like start laughing, or I was just laughing the whole time.
Oh,
Like
I
I'll
was.
mute myself like a minute. Oh, I
Yeah,
would
I
be
was
too. It's like
laughing.
Like when I was at the like 2011 when how was it like when Philadelphia took like Danny Watkins and all these big bad players in the first round. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, I remember.
I think one of the years I did it, like there's some team took a guy. It was like some like when like knowing like Belichick would take like the third round prospect, and I'm shuffling through my notes. It's like I have him as like a fifth round pick. I'm like, why? Like I
Yeah,
have
Belichick
stuff
is
on
doing
this
that a
guy.
lot too.
Well, when you've got TB12, it helps a lot that you can like F around and find out, and usually it works out.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But yeah, like I said, expect like 7 o'clock, like my time, Eastern time for like the draft, especially to start. Like I usually, like I said, I just bring friends on just about BS with them.
Okay.
Like I'll see if I can get like my friends, like I can get like see if I can get Zig Fracassi on again. Like I had him on for like 20 minutes. I was like the happiest person ever because like I'm actually good friends with him from XM Radio.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, I'll come on. I'm like, are you kidding? You're a megastar. I'm like, no, no. I'm like, yeah, you are, dude.
That's cool.
But yeah, like I said, I'll have you on. Like if you like, say if you want to co-host, I welcome people on, and I'll just like so I'll give you the link and we'll just go from there.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, I think we should end this now. It's not bad. We did an hour and 45 minutes, and like, I'm happy to be done.
All right.
Have a good night, dude. I'll talk to you like a little bit on Twitter.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Yep.
Okay,
See you,
cool.
dude.
I'll talk to you. All right.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
And that was our show, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It was quick, easy, and it's not 4 hours.